You like,
But behave, I have good aim. I'm warning you now. All right, so we're ready for roll call?
would you like to do it?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, let's all please take the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And yes, so for agenda item 1, we do have a quorum now.
Okay, great. All right, so we're ready.
Yeah, I think Judy, you will be up to the agenda.
Yes. All right, we'll hand it over to you, Judy. Thank you.
So number 2, we did the approval of the minutes.
Oh, no, we need our approval of the minutes. Mhm. So yes, this would be agenda item 2, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, which was on January 31st.
Has everyone had a chance to review? Are there any changes or corrections that we need to make?
Motion to approve. Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Are we able to take public comments? I don't think anybody signed up. If we have anybody else on the here that would like to say anything during this time
Online.
or online? No? Okay. Agenda number 4.1. So this is for the finance department. My name again is Judy Cisneros. I'm the finance director, and I will be presenting to you the public funds investment. And this is for the first quarter of our fiscal year, which is actually October, November, and December for us. For the first bank that I'm going to be reporting on is the operating account. Our operating account is basically our main account. All of the checks are issued out of this account. This account had a book and a market value at December 31st of $1,609,391, and it earned interest for the quarter of $6,755. The next account that I have is the 911 account. The 911 account is our CSEC account. This one holds our advanced funding that they provide to us. And this one had a book and a market value at December 31st of $136,210, and it earned interest of $332. And our last account is our savings account, which is our TCEQ solid waste funding. Again, this one also holds the advanced funding that we receive. This one had a book and a market value at December 31st of $164,678, and it earned interest of $338. Both the CSEC account and the TCEQ account will have a higher amount right now because we got the advanced funding for the new fiscal year. So specifically TCEQ, all of that starts being used towards the end of the fiscal year. So that one will hold that amount for a while. Any questions for me regarding the 3 bank accounts that we have with Wells Fargo?
No questions? No questions.
Thank you. This was an information item only. Okay, so for administration, 5.1 is Borderplex Community Capital by Annette Gutierrez.
Thank you so much, Judy. If you'd like to come up to the podium, that'd be great. Just get back on. All right, so we have a great opportunity for everyone to be aware of this initiative. We are going to hear a presentation from Hector Villegas, who is the president and CEO of Borderplex Community Capital. And they are a community development loan fund that supports economic development in El Paso County, Far West Texas, and Mariana County as well. And so they're looking at providing loans to provide to organizations or small businesses that may not qualify through traditional lenders. And in particular, the Borderplex Community Capital is committed to supporting nonprofits and small businesses operating in low-income neighborhoods. And so they want to expand their services. And I think this is a great tie-in for our region as well, because we do have economic development as one of our programs that we operate. So I think there could be a lot of tie-in, especially because of the liaison work that we do with the workforce Solutions Borderplex as well. So there's just great ties, great opportunities. And so I'll turn it over to Mr. Villegas now so he can talk a little bit more about their company.
It's showing for everybody else. It's showing for our online participants, but it's not showing here.
Okay.
What page is it on the presentation?
Yeah, we have the presentation, so we can just work off the tablet if you want.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Page 12.
Thank
So-
There you go. Fantastic.
And if you
So,
just tell me page down. will
well,
do
I
it
can
for you.
move it here, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever you need.
Fantastic. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for this opportunity for me to be here. This is my first time in this type of meeting. I've been a banker for over 35 years. I would call myself an international banker because, as you can see, my accent is not from here. I was born in Argentina, family from Spain. I work in banks in Spain, in London, in Argentina, in Mexico, in New York, 10 years. And then at that time, BBVA, that is a Spanish bank, decided to buy a bank in this region that was State National Bank. And they sent me from New York to El Paso. That was in 2010-11, a long time ago. So the idea, Hector, you go to El Paso and you stay 3 years, and then you go somewhere else. I said, okay, fantastic. So I came here, and my wife from Poland, imagine my wife was, where is El Paso? I mean, coming from Europe. And when we flew, that surprise, we always have been living in areas that are very green. And when you fly, you have that desert. Oh my gosh, what I did wrong. So, but now, 2025, we're here and was happy with the partners BBB in 2021 decided to sell the bank. PNC from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania acquired BBVA. They told me, Hector, yeah, you stay with us here in El Paso. But then in September 2023, they told me, Hector, we don't need a market president in El Paso in the region. So you will need to move to Chicago or maybe to Phoenix. I talked to my wife, and my wife said, I don't want to move. I love this region. We have finally roots somewhere. And that's why I had to send Eric Pearson, who is the CEO of El Paso Community Foundation, and he offered me to run with this project, which is Borderplex Community Capital. So this project that now is not the project anymore, it started in 2020. And the goal of the Community Foundation is to support small businesses and non-profits, okay, in our region. And our region includes El Paso County, the Far West Texas, and then also Doña Ana County, New Mexico. So we are a nonprofit. We are in 501c3. We applied to become a CD5. The CD5 is what we call a community development financial institution. The difference with us right now that we are a loan fund is that when you get the certificate of CD5, you can apply to get lending from the federal government. Okay, so right now we cannot apply. So we already applied for the certification. Hopefully in the next 6 months we're gonna be able to get the certification. But we already got 300,000 from the federal government to support technical assistance in our footprint. And we are applying now for another 150,000 with the federal government. The 300,000 were approved. They sent me a nice letter with the agreement. Here is signed by us. You will expect the funding in the next 4 business days. So that was 3 weeks ago. So I'm still waiting. I'm hoping that we can get the 300,000. But in any case, that was approved. What we are doing also is we are applying with the state to apply for what is called the Small Business Credit Initiative. So those money that we can access to lend around our footprint. Another funding that we are aspiring is also funding with SBA. And then we received last year from the city of El Paso, 2 million. And this is fantastic because with this money, we can apply around the limit of the city of El Paso. And we have a special program that we can lend at 2%. 2% for small businesses that they cannot access to work with bank because we don't compete with banks. We are just a complement of the bank. So those clients, they cannot get financing with the bank. We try to help them and we give them the financial education that they need to grow. And after that, they go to a bank. So let me show you here quickly. You can see the slide that says size of the industry. This is related to the CD5 industry because when you look at how many CD5 there are in the country, there are almost 1,500 CD5s around the country, of which 79% of those are loan fund, or we are loan fund. The total asset by these CD5s is 452 billion, of which the majority of those assets are under credit unions. Loan funds only have 34 billion. But when you look by the median asset held by a typical CD5, then you're gonna see that banks are the largest. And loan funds, in general, they have a median asset of 13 million. So our goal is in the coming 5 years to be around this number. But still for that, we have a lot of work to do. You can see here in the next slide where it says our loan and services products, the different type of product that we offer. Remember, El Paso Community Foundation, they offer grants. They are the good guys. For the President Capital, we lend money. We are the bad guys. But with us, we are making sure that all the businesses and nonprofits, they learn to use funding, to be disciplined in managing cash flows. And hopefully then they're gonna be able to fly and grow with banks. That's our main goal. And our target market, as I mentioned before, is low and moderate income communities, rural areas with scarce access to financing. And I'm mentioning this because right now, we are focusing in El Paso County. But our goal is this year, start to expand and grow in the far west Texas. So that's why for me, this meeting with you is super important because it's gonna help me to develop the connection to be able to go to the different cities and communities and start working together with you. Well, as I said, the impact as of today, I mean, we are part of the El Paso Community Foundation. The El Paso Community Foundation, they have already given over 280 million in the community, over 600 different funds, and manage more than 225 million in assets. So in our case, our lending has been up to 3.9 million, which is not bad for just starting. We were blessed to receive the help of the El Paso community, El Paso County, to participate in the FASTER program during the COVID pandemic, and we were able to give money to different small businesses. We have signed letter of intent with key players to give financial literacy like SPDC, El Paso Chamber, El Paso Hispanic Chamber, and SCORE. And we do have also someone hired internally to give technical assistance. This person is coming from SPDC and he has a lot of experience. But as I mentioned before, my experience, the team that we have a loan officer that he's coming from People Fund, which is another CD5. And then I would like to share with you our board of directors. I'm very proud of that because you can see the partners that we have. And we created this board last year. And you can see that we have the support of Workforce Solutions. We have the support of Borderplex Alliance. We have the support of United Way of El Paso County. We have HOME, El Paso Housing Authority in our board. We have Project Bravo, et cetera, et cetera. So all these organizations, they are eager and they believe in our mission. So this is this is really important for us. And well, here are the different paths that we're gonna, as I mentioned before, that we're gonna be using to lend. Part is gonna be SBA, part is gonna be the Texas Small Business Credit Initiative, CD5 funding, hopefully from next year, once that we get the certification. We're gonna be joining also the Texas PACE Authority to make sure that we can participate and help in energy initiatives. Other organization for energy initiative is OFA, USDA, and then hopefully in the next 2 years, we hope to be part of a new market tax credit, so to be a new player there. This slide is just to show you a little the size. I mean, BCC, we're just starting. I'm comparing here with LEAF Fund, which is another CFI that they are based in San Antonio. I'm sure you have met with people from LEAF Fund. People Fund, that is another CFI based in Austin. And then Project B, that they are based in El Paso, they absorb a small CFI that was in El Paso. It is called El Paso Collaborative. They are local. And then for you to see, to compare with the size of El Paso Community Foundation. So you can see in total assets, the 225 million I mentioned before of the Paso Community Foundation versus LEAF Fund or People Fund. You can see the net asset, 192 million of El Paso Community Foundation versus LEAF Fund and People Fund. So you can see, for example, the change in net assets in 2023, 6.2 million. So we have a strong support. But this is just important to show you that this is a serious initiative. So we have the support, but we will need you also to help us out to grow in the Far West Texas, in Doñana County, and continue growing in El Paso County and the city of El Paso. Well, this is the production that what we expected to be in the next 5 years. Hopefully, we're going to be able to double these numbers. The capitalization, the same. We are being conservative with the capitalization plan. So we see ourselves that we're going to be around 8 million growing in capitalization, but I'm sure that we're going to be able to the amount be even bigger. And finally, why you should believe or invest in us. I mean, you can see that you can align your needs in each community with us. We are a small organization. We are a local organization. The credit approvals are done here in El Paso. So we are flexible. So you can tell me, hey, Hector, you know, I would like that you guys try to learn in rural areas in a specific niche. Or I would like that you focus in financial education in specific topics in financial education. We can do that. Another thing that I would like to learn from you, for example, you know that Far West Texas is very spread out. So you can tell me, Hector, maybe you can have someone physically, I don't know, Marfa or Alpine or Presidio, to be based there and from there give financial education around the region or bring people to take classes. So I need your help in that sense, that you guide me how to do it. And then, of course, what are the real needs that you have? So you can see that the team right now, that part of BOD Community Capital, we are 6 people, but we have the full support of the El Paso Community Foundation. All the CFO of El Paso Community Foundation, the administration, the operation team is working also for us. So we have a total team that is around 22 people. And we're ready to start working and growing and expanding in the other regions. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I mean, for me, this is very important to be here, to have the first connection with you. And I'm open for any questions that you may have.
Commissioner, I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Villegas, I have a question in regards to some of the challenges that CDFIs may be facing, and this is just throughout the entire region. I know that staffing can become an issue sometimes for CDFIs. Would you all be open to training, for instance, city staff to provide those classes and trainings to set up satellite offices in our prospective areas, so that way it's less of a burden on you as well? Because we know that the more people that you can staff in your office to provide services to our people is a financial relief for you all. So we're able to provide some type of assistance, like in our municipalities in that field, to be able to provide that training using our staff. Would you all be open to something like that?
We can do something like that. And if we don't have the right people, we can get the right people. Because also we receive funding for technical assistance that allow us, if we don't have the person or the team with the right knowledge, we can hire a consultant, and we can use that consultant to cover all the questions or to give you the training that maybe your team needs.
And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm looking at your map, and it's a fairly large region that needs to be, it's a large area of coverage. So if you have somebody in Marfa, Alpine, or something like that can provide this training, so you don't have to send your people out there specific to that. But again, I don't know all the rules and technical the things that you all have to abide by in a CDFI, which is why I kind of put that option out there.
Right. And look, we can have someone there. We can have one or two people. For example, the people that I started hiring in the BCC is because we receive monies from the federal government. So those people, we already have the grants in place. So we can get some funding to help us out to pay these people. We can do it without any problem. We will train them, and we will give you all the support that we need. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Yes.
You mentioned that your organization would help small businesses that weren't ready or bankable through other banking industries. Will your group also help with business plans and preparing them to?
Yes, everything. And I'm doing that myself. And I'm having a lot of fun. I used to be working when I was in New York in global corporate finance. And at that time, you look at the financial annual report, with big numbers. But now it's something completely different, because I meet with people that they come with no number, or the balance sheet doesn't balance. And I really enjoy spending time with them, explaining. And when I don't have time, I have a team. Well, we have other support, other consultants that help us out. And we try to cover everything. And when I say everything, is because I noticed that some people, they are using me like if I were a priest, because they tell me all the issues, not related sometimes to financial, right? So people is super nice, and it's very sweet. It's really willing to grow. And yes, of course, we can do that.
Last question. Do you have a goal for this fiscal year?
A goal number that we need to cover?
A goal loans, per se.
Oh, well, this year we are expecting, I'm trying to be conservative because it all depends on the funding, but at least 24 loans, at least. That's the minimum. But the goal is to do more.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, Mr. Villegas. Thank you for the information. Very useful.
Well, and thank you very much
Thank you.
for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next agenda item is 5.2, page 29 on your tablet. It's Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy by Ana Gutierrez.
Yes, Board of Directors, just a quick informational item. We are going to be, we have been embarking on our comprehensive economic development strategy process, and we've been doing that with collaboration through the City of El Paso. And through the funding that we have received from the Economic Development Administration, we are required to develop a regional economic development plan that identifies what we are looking at our economic growth to be, as well as our resilience, and identifying what the priority strategies and projects will be. And so we're doing it two-pronged this way. This is a new effort that we're making for this go-around because it's representing a 5-year plan. And with this initiative, what we're doing is we're looking at creating a comprehensive economic development strategy for El Paso County. And then we will do an economic development strategy document for our 5 rural communities. Within El Paso County, we will be covering Doña Ana as well. And so we are being as comprehensive as we can with our economic development priorities. And so I was listening into the workshop, the work session for the city council with El Paso this Monday. And I know that Adriana Bulicio had presented this agenda item to city council. So we're just very, we feel very fortunate and we're very happy to be working in such great collaboration with the city of El Paso because they're helping us create a greater footprint with the process, and we will now be able to turn that over and do that in our 5 rural areas as well. So this is forthcoming. We do believe that this economic development strategy will be completed for El Paso County by September of 2025, and then we will start the process in our rural areas in the summer, and we'll be looking at completing that in the spring of 26. So if there's any questions for me, I can answer them right now, but I just wanted to inform you all what initiatives are being undertaken. And I believe that we have asked several of your staff members to participate with us on the subcommittees that we've established for this initiative.
Any questions for Annette? No, thank you.
Next agenda item is 5.3, found on page 30 of your tablet. It's Hudspeth County Interlocal Agreement with Rio Grande Council of Governments by Annette Gutierrez.
Yes, and Marisa is here, so she can answer any questions that I may not be able to. But we're asking for the board to approve and authorize Commissioner Holguin to sign an interlocal agreement with Hudspeth County. And this is to recognize a financial contribution that will be made by the county for the purchase of emergency communication equipment for this fiscal year. Through funding that was awarded from Congressman Tony Gonzalez's office, through the COPS program. The funding will be used to purchase emergency communications equipment for Hudspeth County. The total cost for that item is $137,136.74. Funds available through COPS is $112,651.87. And therefore, we're asking for Hudspeth County to pay the remaining amount, which is $24,485.07. I do know that Hudspeth County had this on their agenda this week and it was approved as well. So we're here to answer any questions you may have on this agenda item request.
I guess to provide a little information on this, this was the original grant we went for that was like $11 million and we got 300,000 out of it.
Just a little bit short.
We spread it as well as we could. Absolutely. And what this will go towards, just so you know, I always like to know where the money's actually going. We have a very antiquated dispatch console system that they're struggling to be able to keep up to date. It's like 20 years old. So the sheriff is even gonna pay this out of his seizure funds. So the court approved it. We're all on board and really hopeful that you help us stay technologically advanced for these 911 callers. So thank you for the consideration.
Great. Any other questions? May I have a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Thank you, everyone.
All right. And so sorry, Judy, I'll let you say it.
Agenda item 5.4, page 44 on your tablet. It's Jeff Davis County Interlocal Agreement with the Rio Grande Council of Governments by Annette Gutierrez.
And this is the same premise in terms of how we're approaching this. Jeff Davis County, through the COPS funding, is looking at $112,651.87. But the total cost for their request is $112,974.82. And so the remaining balance that we would be asking Jeff Davis County to pay would be $324.15. And so again, this is to approve and authorize the President, Commissioner Holguin, to sign the interlocal agreement with Jeff Davis County. Any questions for me on this one?
Any questions, comments? May I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I'm abstaining.
And one abstention. Thank you, Judge. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Agenda item 5.5, page 52 on your tablet, is Paso del Norte Community Foundation's gift instrumentation by Annette Gutierrez.
Yes, you don't have this one on your, on the tablet, so I'll just read it out to you all. This is to allow the Council of Governments to sign a gift instrumentation document to allow the organization to establish a fund with the Paso del Norte Community Foundation. And so just quickly, some background on this item here is that the Community Foundation has a mechanism set up for organizations to establish funds. So that way, these organizations who are not 501c3 can benefit from the 501c3 process. And so I would hope that several of you are aware of the Senior Fund initiative that's been going on for many years now. This was first initiated through the El Paso Times Fund, through the El Paso Times. They're the ones who started this initiative, and then we moved it over to the United Way. So what we have seen is that there have been some challenges in terms of how we are able to use the funds. And I think that it's probably more along the lines because this is not necessarily within the parameters of the United Way. And so we've been identifying ways how to work that out. But looking at the opportunity from the Community Foundation, if we were to establish the Senior Fund, what would that allow for us is that we could ask for funding for all of our 7 counties. It doesn't have to stay in El Paso County because right now it's limited to only El Paso County because United Way only serves El Paso County. So if we establish this fund through the Community Foundation, we can ask for funding for anywhere. And so any foundation, any individual who would want to make a contribution to an older adult to provide funding for them for services they may be in need of that we don't have the money for, this is what the fund can be used for. I have been in communications with Georgina Hernandez, who's the CEO of United Way of El Paso, and she has informed me that there's about $100,000 in the fund currently, and they are prepared to move those monies into the Community Foundation Fund. So what that would allow for the Council of Governments to do is once we set up our parameters, our guidelines, we can start utilizing that money to fund for initiatives that we are just short of being able to fund. So Yvette Lugo is here. Yvette, do you want to just talk about how some examples can be in terms of how the funding would be used?
Sure, the flexibility, would you like me to come up?
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. Yvette Lugo, Director for the Rio Grande Area Agency on Aging. So the flexibility that the Senior Fund allows us is because it is local dollars, local donations, there are certain items perhaps that are not as limiting as with the funds that we do receive under the Area Agency on Aging. There's very specific guidelines and parameters for which funds, the Title III Older Americans Funds Act monies that we receive to purchase certain items. With the Senior Fund, because it is local donations, it does give us that flexibility. And so in the past, we've been able to purchase items that are not traditionally things that we might otherwise would have or would like to support, but because of the funding parameters from our funding per se. So things that older adults might need or utilize, my best example, one person said, I want to stay mobile, I want to stay active, I need a bicycle. And so obviously those are things that we could not purchase with the funds that we receive, but through local donations like the Senior Fund, we were able to purchase a bicycle to allow that person to stay active, independent, and honor her wishes to be able to stay mobile. And so it's things like that. Obviously with this expansion here, as Annette shared, our funding sometimes is limited. This hopefully is then our working to see how we can expand, because any additional funds allow us to then expand the services and supports that we can offer through our department.
Can you talk a little bit about the dental? That's a big one.
So additionally, in the past, we've used these funds for the kind of one-time specific issues like dental services, like home modifications, things that again are going to support an older adult to maintain their independence, their health. And so dentures are very costly sometimes. And so if we can again supplement with some of the